Hello, I'm back tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at when it's week to 10 days. In today's video, it's going to take us up to the 23rd of June, so that's the day of a referendum, and we'll be seeing what the models are predicting for the weather as we go through towards the latter stages of next week, just before Glastonbury, of course. Got big showers around today. I'll have a very quick look at that on the radar picture weather outlook in a second. But very on with all of that, just very quick to mention the ads. There's video ads on most pages. Say, own that content when you watch it, close back up again, and it helps to pay for the website. So as I've got this massive showery rain across, particularly England and Wales at the moment, particularly central and eastern parts, so stretched down from northwest England through the Midlands in towards East Anglia. Some vibrant colours in there, indicating some really quite heavy rain indeed. Let's see if it's producing any lightning anywhere at the moment. There's one flash there across East Anglia, not a great deal else going on in terms of lightning. We did think that the thunder potential could be a little bit less today when we did storm watch yesterday, and that's so far as how things are panning out. I think there could be some more storms bubbling up through the course of this afternoon, however, so I would suspect there'll be a few more lightning flashes later on this afternoon than this is suggesting, but overall, probably not as much lightning as we had yesterday, and I think we'll probably get more in way of lightning and thunder again tomorrow. The showers will probably turn more thundery again tomorrow, but today just a lot of really quite heavy and persistent rain. That'll continue on into the evening, by the way, and there could be flash flooding in some parts of the country, so another really wet day to come for some of us. Right, let's have a look at weather next week to 10 days. Then these are 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts. We've got the E70F here on the top, GFS, which we'll have a look at in a moment, is on the bottom. 500 millibars, 8,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Orange extrapolates high pressure and blue to low pressure. So with the E70F, we see that we've got this ridge here in a week to 10 days time sitting over and to the east of the country with a trough in the Atlantic, and it means that the jet stream is going something like that. So we are on the warm side of the jet there, and we're just about hanging on to dry conditions. I think the weather will turn dry over weekend, or drier over weekend and into next week. How long that lasts on for, we're going to wait and see, but we are just about holding on to it across the east side of the country on that chart. The GFS is rather different actually. It places that ridge much more over and to the south of the UK in that sort of position, with the trough up towards Iceland, and the jet stream is running through Scotland rather like that. It's still probably producing quite a lot of dry weather and potentially very warm down in the south, but in the north it's a little bit more unsettled with the jet stream running through. But overall I think we will get a better week's weather next week. How much better, that is going to be the question. So these are the GFS temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. The red line here is a 30-year temperature average. We're around average at the moment. We're going to go a bit below average at the end of the week. On Friday and into the start of the weekend, we'll bring down quite a cold for time of year, northerly wind, which does dip the temperatures away under the red line. However, as we go through to next week, it looks like the temperature's going to be picking up, so we should start to see a warm-up taking place next week. How much of a warm-up takes place is open to a lot of question at the moment. This for example up here is a very warm GFS ensemble member. It's actually the latest operational run going into the extended range of the GFS model. Others, though, aren't lifting temperatures up anywhere near as much as that, so quite what's happening next week still open to doubt. A lot of precipitation coming up over the coming few days as well, so this takes us into the weekend just here when we see regular rainfall spikes coming through. It is going to be an unsettled week with showers or longer spells of rain. As we go through into next week, and quite interestingly, we keep a fair number of precipitation spikes going. Probably not as wet as this week, but even so, you wouldn't say that's necessarily all that dry as we're going into next week. So there is a lot of doubt, I think, about next week's weather. We had an excellent update for Glastonbury last night, which generated a huge amount of interest. Absolutely shocked by the interest we had for last night's Glastonbury update. And it was an excellent one. But looking at the ensembles here, I'm not all that convinced, really, that the charts we was looking at last night for that Glastonbury update had it right. So I'll be doing another one tomorrow night. We'll just have to wait and see exactly what it's showing then. But that doesn't look like an ensemble that would shout out heat wave and dry weather for next week. So let's wait and see. Come back to this week. This is temperature anomaly for the coming week from the 13th through 21st of June. I'm going to be a bit cooler than average, which is particularly so over the end of the week and inside of the weekend, which will bring down those northerly winds. Precipitation anomaly from the 13th, 21st of June, generally wetter than average. So the generic charts, here's that northerly wind coming down on the GFS on Friday the 17th of June. You'll notice that wind, it will be really quite chilly, I think, for the time of year. You will notice it on Friday. We go into Saturday, still in a relatively chilly flow, but notice the Azores high starting to ridge in from the southwest, and that gives many of us quite a dry and warm day on Sunday. But there's this area of low pressure that's developing in the Atlantic that starts to run into the country on Monday the 20th of June, a week away, and that sort of keeps things showery then into the early part of next week. Not necessarily all that wet, but certainly showery conditions into the early part of next week, and that takes us up to Wednesday, and then Thursday, day 10, Thursday 23rd of June, when everybody, or most people, will be voting in the referendum, and it still looks a little bit showery, that, to be honest. There's still the risk of showers coming through there. Beyond that, actually, the GFS does want to build in the high pressure then for that crucial Glastonbury period, so that still looks very nice. Not a heat wave, perhaps, as we were looking at last night, but that still looks quite good. It's a long way off. EWF, finally, and we've got those northerly winds there on Friday. I say you will notice that northerly, and I won't be at all surprised as this ridge builds in over weekend. It will start to lift the temperatures by day in the sunshine, but by night, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we get some unusually chilly temperatures actually over the weekend. I don't think we'll be talking about frost, or I don't think gardeners have to be too alarmed, but keep an eye on it. The nights could be quite cold over the weekend. Into the start of next week, that ridge is still there. From Monday into Tuesday, low pressure is out in the Atlantic, and this is how we're looking in the middle part of next week. This is Wednesday 22nd, bit of a battle going on. High pressures to the east, low pressure to the west. We're bringing up a very warm southerly flow. Could be unstable, possibly producing thunderstorms, that, and by day 10, which is referendum day, Thursday 23rd of June, we're starting to break through that area of low pressure, so that does imply probably a thundery breakdown taking place. On the 23rd of June, thundery conditions, perhaps as people are casting their ballots. So, well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's only going to be very unsettled this week with showers and longer spells of rain. We're going to get this northerly wind coming down at the end of the week, which you will notice. It will make things feel quite a lot colder. Into the weekend, we're going to find high pressure ridging in, so it'll improve. And then a lot of uncertainty about next week's weather. The early part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, probably looking fairly showery. Beyond that, well, just going to have to wait and see. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.